Hi everyone. Today we want to make a DNA molecule out of card and paper. I've got one started for us right here. Now in your groups, hopefully each one of you is going to receive two red strips, look like this. And one of your first jobs will be to take the red strip and fold it in half. The red strips are eventually going to form up one of the helixes, which will join together with another helix to become our double helices of the DNA molecule. You are going to have yellow, green, blue and pink paper, which you're going to cut up into these tiny little strips to be the bases. And we look at those bases. The pink is going to be cytosine, the blue is going to be thymine, the yellow A is going to be adenine, and the green is going to be guanine. The white tabs here that you see are going to be the sugars, the ribose sugars that we're going to need. And if you have a bit of a close look, you can see that in this one that I've already started, we've got that basic structural unit that we talked about, the nucleotide, where we have the red as a phosphate, the white as a sugar, and then this strip is a base. That particular one is cytosine. So nucleotide adds to nucleotide adds to nucleotide. This is the beginning of one half of my DNA molecule moving up, and then eventually this one will become my second half of the molecule, which will go over here. It'll have its own white bases glued on the outside of it. Its own white bases glued on the outside of it. And then it will have its own bases attached to it. So this one in particular, if it's going to be matching with the pink cytosine, then we're going to need the green guanine to be into this one here. And then joining that with glue together and sticking it lightly on here like so to make that rung in the ladder with the cytosine and the guanine joining up. Now you can order these bases in any which way you want on the way upwards, as long as you remember that with the second half of your DNA molecule, you order the bases on that second half to match, so that always we see the adenine is matched with the thymine, and we always see that the guanine is matched with the cytosine. Okay, now the way that I made these tabs for my bases was I took a strip of paper and I folded it twice, once along its long axis like so, and then I folded it again into that central fold. I folded it again into that central fold, and I found that made quite a good length for my base. As you can see then, that made a nice good length for my base, and I could use my scissors to cut along this line here to give the bases that I wanted. And I marked them off at 1 centimetre intervals. I marked them off at 1 centimetre intervals, and you'd want to do that along the whole strip to get your collection. And in your teams, you might want to have one person dedicated to each of those coloured bases to get a collection that the whole group can then share from. Okay, and when we're ready, we just cut along the fold line. I'm just rushing a bit here because I don't want to waste too much of your time. Cut along the fold line, and then we have our bases. And remembering that the blue bases were thymine. And you'll see that use the same process for each of the bases. For the sugar, the ribose sugar, what I want you to do is get a sheet of white paper, and someone in the group might be responsible for this. Now with this white paper, we will fold it along the short axis. We'll fold it along the short axis again. And then we'll fold it along the short axis one more time, and that'll give us a nice length to behave as our ribose sugar. And we'll make these 2 centimetres thick for each one. So make these 2 centimetres thick for each one of those, and we'll cut those out and apply them as we see fit to our helix and slowly build up our double helix DNA molecule, which eventually we will twist. Okay, good luck with that.